Hey guys, how are you today? So I'm just gonna do a quick update, a August update. I know I did one not too long ago, but I really wanted to go ahead and be on schedule with the months. Um, and I'm just gonna quickly run through what things are doing. If they're not doing anything, we're just gonna pass it. So this is just gonna be a very fast update. The first thing is this Neophonetia falcata. It's in full bloom, as we've seen before. Next to it is the Neophonetia falcata chinui, and I don't know if I pronounced it right. Oh well, but I potted it up, and I think it looks really nice. Behind it, we have the two other Neophonetias and another Neophonetia. But this one has some new root tips coming on it. Let's see if we can get it to focus. There we go. So that's great. On the table we have also some Carter and Holmes seedlings. And they have new roots shooting out everywhere. This one, I believe, has a new growth right there. So that's great. Hopefully they're doing really well. There's another seedling back there that's got some new roots coming on it and things. Alright, so I just paused that for a second because there was a really noisy truck. Now we're going to start eating. So, here's my Vanda Sanderiana, and it has some new roots coming on all over the place. And I think this is doing really well. I hope once we have some really drops in temperatures at nighttime that it'll spike for me, hopefully. Up here is my one of my Rinco Stylish Gigantea, but this is Variety Spots. And I wanted to show you, look at this big root coming on. I mean, here's my finger, and there's the root. So, I mean, the root's pretty much as big as my finger. And they get bigger than that, but that's a sign to me that it's nice and happy and healthy. And then another root that's really coming along. So I'm happy with that. This Sulphurnitis Sinua, I think you pronounce it that way. It lost a couple of leaves, but I think that's just because it went from a pot to a mount. So hopefully we'll get some new growth coming on here soon. Hopefully. Over here is my Rinco Cordy's Bangkok Sunset. And it's doing really well. I'm really happy with it. It's got new roots everywhere. If you can see, there's one right here and one right there. And all up and down the old root system, we have some starts of new root growth. So I think it's just doing really well, and it's happy. So that's great. Over here, this is the BLC Solar Flare, and it's got that new growth right there, shooting out a whole bunch of new roots. There's some of my moat seedlings. This one has dropped one older leaf already and is looking to drop another one, but I think it's going to do well. I think it's just had some shipping stress and things like that, and there's a new leaf coming out. This is another one, and it had some sunburn and the leaf was starting to go bad, so I decided to cut it off and put some cinnamon on it, and then there's a new growth coming out of there, so that's good. Up top here, this Phalaenopsis Shirleyana is doing okay. It put out this leaf and it matured it, and now there's a new leaf coming on in there. You guys can't really see it. There you go. But I'm hoping with the new leaf that we'll get some new roots and things, so that'll be nice. This is the other Rinco Stylish Gigantea variety orange, and it has roots everywhere. And when I mean everywhere, I mean everywhere. It's got new roots all up and down this. All new roots coming off the old roots. And it's just going crazy. So that's good. I'm happy about that. My Stanhopea nigroviolacea black tiger is maturing this growth in the back here. So that's good. Down below is my Brassavola glossia, or Rhincolalia glossia. Has this new growth coming on it. I've noticed that my Brassavola little stars has sheath on it, so hopefully this year we'll get some flowers. I see one right there, and it also has a new growth right here, so hopefully that new growth will pop out with a sheath. I know there's a new growth on this one back here, you can see, and there's also a couple of nodes starting to wake up. But we've seen this plenty of times. If it'll ever focus, there we go. Hopefully with these new growths that they'll have sheaths again, because the last time it had sheaths they dried up and kind of fell off, so it didn't do very well. Back there you've seen those new growths. This has 2 new growths coming on it. My Oncidium equitans B, or Telomnia, is doing well. Right there is another Cattleya that we've seen before, and it's creating a new growth, so that hopefully that one will have a sheath when it matures. The Maxillaria tenuifolia is doing well, maturing its growth. I've noticed that my Psychopsis Mendenhall, I don't think it's going to put out a new growth this year, but as long as it's okay, I'm not too concerned with it. I noticed with this older spike that it looks like I might be getting a secondary spike coming on it. Let's see if we can focus on it. Right there. And I don't think it was damaged anyway, because the tip is still good. There's the tip of the other one. So that would be really cool if this shoots off the secondary one, and I'll have 3 flower spikes. So that'll be cool. This seems like it's still doing well. This is my emergency repot, and that's the RLC Village Chief North. Like I said, it seems like it's doing well. It has a sheath in there still. There's my beauty. I think it rained really hard one day and it came in underneath the roof area and it filled the bottom of the saucer up, and it was sitting in water for at least 24 hours. So I quickly threw that out and didn't leave the saucer on there so the bottom could dry very fast. I did a repot on this today, my BLC Rustic Spots by BL Richard Mueller by Cattleya Landate, and it has a new growth coming on it. But when I was repotting it, I noticed this growth is very wiggly, so we'll see how that one does. If not, I know it has plenty of eyes to wake up if that one doesn't fully mature. But I did a nice repot and it had a beautiful root system, so that's great. Behind it, this is my Cattleya Mausier by LC Author Miles, and it's got 2 new growths coming on it. This growth right here, and then right behind this growth. So hopefully they'll mature nicely, and hopefully for not too long that we might have a sheath. So that's great. Nothing really happening there. The CM Fitch Plumine Miltasia is maturing this new growth, so that's great. back there, my Masdevallia Redwing, it doesn't have any blooms on it anymore, but I've noticed it has some new growth coming on it again. My Oncidium Twinkle Mendenhall has their new growths are starting to mature. You can start to see their pseudobulbs. The Odontocidium Tiger Crow Golden Girl has plenty of new growth coming on it, so that's great. Behind that is the No ID. Everybody thinks it's a denticulatum, and I think that's what everybody thinks it is, but it's not, because the gentleman that I got it from, he's an older gentleman that used to get stuff from the wild. That's how old he is, and before they had all these regulations and stuff, and he picked this, and he was not in the regions where these are located. Down below, this is putting out a new leaf. It's the Phalaenopsis japonica, or Sideria japonica, whatever you would like to call it. And it has some new roots coming on it. My Leptodes bicolor, it has its new growth is starting to grow up and mature. Down here, I think this took nicely, the Ingrecum diderii, and I think it's doing really nice in its new home. I know that we've been trying to save this for a long time. This is my Dendromium aggregatum, or now known as Lindinii. It has a new growth coming on it, so we'll see how that matures. And then lastly, no, not lastly, we're getting close though, is my LC. I'll just let you read the tag. This is one of them I got in Florida, and I repotted this, and it decided to wake up several new growths. It has that one right there, this one, and that. So it's doing wonderful. I'm really happy that it has 3 new growths coming on it. And this sheath is still doing okay back here. So maybe after I get some roots, it'll shoot out some blooms. That would be nice. Down there, there's plenty of roots on my Oncidium Gowramsey. And this growth is maturing. We'll see if we can get a flower spike out of that. You can see the mist coming off of my humidifier. My Zygopedlium is going out a flower. I need to cut those spikes off. And we'll end off on a positive note. We've been trying to save this for a while now, and there it is. If y'all remember, I got this at the Path Forum in DC, and when I got home, a whole bunch of new growths and old growths rotted completely. But I think what happened was it was not ready for being moved, like transported to its new home. So it kind of went into shock, but it's doing really well. It has 1, 2, 3, at least 3, maybe 4 new growths coming on it. And this one's coming along nicely. But I'm really happy that it's come along, so that's nice. Well, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you next time. Okay guys, bye.